Good evening. I'm Faith Stevens, the Park and Recreation Chairperson. This open meeting of Northborough Parks and Recreation Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of June 16, 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the Park and Recreation Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows Park and Recreation Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along with the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link posted on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comments. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mark Audicki.
Present.
Gary Magalino.
Present.
Tracy Camerano.
Present.
Faith Stevens, present. Board of Selectmen Liaison, Scott Rogers.
Present.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Allie Lane.
Present.
Megan Jordan.
Present.
And Scott Carpenter.
Present.
All right. I make a motion to approve the minutes from the December 2021 meeting.
Seconded.
I want to congratulate Megan. That was her first minutes. And I thought they were pretty good. I was very happy.
Okay. Calling the meeting to order.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move forward to number 3 to meet with the youth groups ahead of time and skip number 1 and 2 if possible.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So I asked all the youth groups to be present today so that we could discuss maintenance of fields moving forward and review how it was last year. So I'm just going to go through. We have Kevin McCormick from NYSA. We have Rich Swallow from NYSA. We have Mike Flynn from baseball, softball. We have Jessica Magnuson from baseball, softball. No, yes. Okay. Thank you. And Doug Pulsiver from football. So thank you guys for taking the time to meet with us. I just wanted to briefly review last year over at the middle school. So recreation kind of took that over. It was a different year, COVID, all sorts of stuff going on. I ended up paying for Mike Lynch and Blue Ribbon $5,600 for the year. And that does not include that back D field. That was maintained through the work that we were doing through the DPW. So it just includes basically the football field and the E fields. And Lynch was just pretty much the irrigation opening and closing. We actually did not have very many issues with the irrigation this year. We lucked out. And then we brought in $3,900 from the baseball club at the Shrewsbury, Northeast Birds, I can't remember the name of them, but it's over at headquarters at the Shrewsbury Club. So they have been renting outdoor space from us for 2 years now. So we brought in $3,900 from them. Again, we didn't make very much from Best Soccer. They really didn't utilize the fields this year. So it was kind of a wash. But I do know next year that obviously the maintenance is going to go up because we're going to be including the D field, which I think is going to need a little more attentive he's gonna have to pay a little bit more attention to it because it's new and, we're gonna really need to take care of that. So I just wanted to confirm with Mike, you are gonna be using the fields for softball, correct?
That is the intention to continue to use the softball field, yes.
Okay, and Jessica, will you be my contact for that?
I can be, or Lisa can
Okay.
still be your contact either way.
Okay, excellent. And you
Give me
guys
all
have,
the stuff, so.
you guys have already had registration. Do you have a good idea of the space that you might be needing?
Not quite yet. We haven't formed all the teams, but we should have that by the end of February. We should have a much better idea about it.
Excellent.
Ellie,
Yes.
there was a Jim Davis in the waiting room.
Oh, yes. Did we let him in? Sorry, I was talking. I can't talk in.
No, he signed out.
Oh, bummer.
I'll keep my eyes open for him to return.
Okay, all right. And then Kevin, for soccer, can you just tell us your intention of the middle school for the spring? You're on mute.
Sorry, NYSA is not planning on utilizing the Melican Middle School for this upcoming season.
Okay. Do you guys think you want to use the lights at all for a couple of games, or do you want to just talk about that in the future? Or
We could talk about that offline. The
Okay.
amount of work to run a couple games, as far as lighting the fields and getting goals down there, would make it really not practical.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, and Doug, for football, you're still planning on using that as your full practice field, correct?
That's correct. Plan on using that as a full practice field August through hopefully in November if we make playoffs.
Okay, excellent. So my intention, just so that we're all on the same page, is to continue renting it out to the headquarters over at Shrewsbury Club. They usually rent the baseball side. Occasionally they'll use the softball side just for practice drills, but they do rent out the baseball side. So I have to coincide it with what Best is doing because I can't have baseball and soccer there at the same time, obviously. So I'm planning on doing that. I'm obviously planning on renting it out to Best Soccer again. And I'm also looking this year into adding a cricket field under the lights so that we can use that as a rental income in the evenings. We can keep the lights on until 10 p.m. I would like to see if we can start renting that out and getting some revenue generated from that side. Do you guys have any questions about the middle school? Okay. And as far as Memorial, do you guys have any issues, anything going on that you want to bring up for the meeting from last year or anything new that's happening for this year?
Nothing field related, just to shed some light. We've been going through some organizational changes. So the Northborough Baseball and Softball Association no longer exists. We merged as of the beginning of the year with Southborough Little League. So the new entity is called Algonquin Baseball and Softball Association. So essentially the same organization merged with Southborough. So we're doing a lot more items with Southborough. But as far as the fields themselves are concerned, other than normal maintenance, there's nothing significant.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that merge. I hope it's successful. I hope that you guys, really get the numbers that you need to make a solid league. And, I'm excited to be working with Jim for this year. So thank you. And Kevin, as far as NYSA at Ellsworth McAfee, how are you guys doing over there?
We are doing good. We're going to have to take Field C down for maintenance this upcoming season. So we'll have to watch for renting that out for any outside organization.
Do you foresee that being offline for the summer? And I'm just asking because of summer programs that we have running over there.
Yeah, we're still evaluating the layouts. We may be able to rotate Field C to take it off the high wear locations. So we're going to be doing that in the beginning of the season.
Okay.
But
We'll touch base.
the section that's right near the dirt pathway will have to be shut down for a while.
Okay. And we can certainly use that backfield too for the programs that we're running. So that's
Perfect.
We'll work around you. That's not a problem. Thank you. And Doug, how did you guys do this fall?
As far as Melican, we did pretty well. Fields held up nicely. Obviously, field D, that back corner was a little it needed some maintenance, which you guys were doing. We kept people off of that. The lights were great. Every kid cheered every time they came on every single night. But other than that, it worked out well.
Good. Excellent. All right. Then we'll just, do you guys have any questions or concerns for the upcoming spring? Last thing I wanted to tell you too is that I'm now scheduling everything online. So you can look on our website and see at Melican. I'm not really doing it for Ellsworth or Memorial because you guys really can, you maintain your own schedules. But for the middle school, when there's all different things coming in and out, it's now going to be online. So Doug, that'll probably be helpful for you guys too. Oh, is there somebody renting that back, the E field? It's all going to be listed there and it's all open to the public. So you can see what's going on.
All right, and I can get through that. I can get to that through the town website, through the rec
Through the
department?
recreation website.
Okay.
Ally, is there any time frame on that online reservation system? Like, can we go in now and start blocking off days in the fall or is it like 30 to 60 days?
You guys can't log on and book it. So
Right.
it has to go through the rec department. And then once, like for example, Best asked for a couple of days for that back E field for the spring. So I just put it in there. It's already on there. It's gonna prevent me from double booking, which happened maybe a few times. And then B, you'll be able to see if someone's in there before you, what time are they supposed to finish, kind of keep an eye out on what's going on around the schedule that you're supposed to be in.
So it's basically, it's a request system, not just, I'm going to go in and block off this time for us.
Correct.
It's okay. Just understanding. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, you literally just have to shoot me an email and it's helpful to me on the side with the lights because I can look up each week and see who's going to be there and turn the lights on and off and all that good stuff. So
I know it can be helpful for us, now speaking as a coach, looking to do Saturday morning walkthroughs and things like that, so we can block them off in advance and not.
yes.
That's incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Yes. As I've been telling Megan, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. And she's helping me do that. I'm a notebook girl and I have binders and notebooks just littering my office. And I'm trying to learn that I have all these magical systems online that I can start using and they make my life easier. So I feel so great. I'm learning.
I was wondering what those things were on your bookshelf behind you.
Those are my plants.
No, your other
On the other side, it's just notebooks. Yes, many notebooks. So thank you guys for coming. I can touch base with all of you offline as far as scheduling for the spring. We can work on that. Jessica, I'll talk with you and Lisa about which days you guys want to schedule, and then I can just book around what you guys want to do. Okay. Awesome. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to, email me, call me, just not tomorrow because we have camp signups at 9 a.m. It's going to be a crazy day, but thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you taking the time.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Faith, thank you for letting us start with number 3. I figured while we had everybody there, it would be easier to just get them all chatted. So can I start with the recreation report?
Yes.
I have just a few things I wanted to talk to you about, just kind of a recap for what's been going on for winter registration. You're going to see an article in the newspaper either this week or next week. I met with a reporter on the Community Advocate to go over our new after-school programs that we're going to be running at all of the elementary schools. They were supposed to start in January. Unfortunately, with the extremely high rise of COVID cases in town, we decided to postpone what I call our winter one session. So the first 6 weeks starting in January, we postponed any class that had more than 10 people in it. And anything that hadn't started yet, we just held off. As you all know, the numbers in Northborough were just really, really high, and I really didn't want to run programs in the schools after school where the cases were just flowing through. So we decided to take we held off on almost all of our programming. So we're going to be starting up at the very beginning of March, because the way the winter sessions goes, we usually do 6 weeks that bring us to February vacation. And then we start off another 6 weeks after February vacation. So we are going to move forward with doing that. So we're pretty excited about doing that. We also had to postpone the Algonquin Boys Rec Basketball League that we run every year. Normally we get 60 to 70 kids. This year we got 50. So I was actually pretty happy with that, just with everything that was going on with the schools and COVID and the fact that the kids have to play wearing masks. I was very happy with the number of 50. So Marty Murphy's running that program, and we postponed it for 2 weeks, but we have now officially had 2 weeks. So it's going well. The kids love it. Gary, you can probably speak to that. I'm glad to see that your son is playing. It's just an awesome program for the high schoolers. It was originally brought to my attention about 5 years ago. The varsity coach had called me and said that he had to make an extreme large number of cuts. And he wanted to know if we could come up with a program together to kind of feed the kids that were getting cut and have them keep playing. As you all know, in Northborough, you can play youth basketball, from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. And then if you don't make the team, it's just kind of over, which is really sad, because normally we get 60 to 70 kids that want to keep playing basketball. And that's what we're here for. So it's been an awesome addition to have this program. The high school has been great to work with. So it's great.
Yeah, Allie, to that point, my son absolutely loves it. But the great thing is a lot of his teams are kids. It's like having his 8th grade team again going into his senior year in high school, and all these kids, they all played rec together. So it's literally an extension of rec at a young age, and they are all having the absolute time of their lives.
Oh, that's awesome. I think another really good aspect to this program is that there's no coaching. So this is really the first time these kids have ever played a sport without a coach. They have to decide who goes in, who comes out, how they organize it, what their plays are gonna, it's pure rec. And I can't even remember the last time that kids have had pure rec, like just show up and play ball. And, we organize the teams, but then you're in charge of the team. And so they have to kind of work together. And it's just a wonderful program. And I can't say enough about Marty Murphy supervising it. He's fantastic.
Marty is amazing. And I still go and yell at them like I coach. So it's okay.
I was wondering, I guarantee you there's a few parents out there.
Oh, there is. Me, Steve Adrianson, we can't stay away.
Oh, no, that's fine. As long as your kids don't mind.
No,
if they email me and say, tell them dads aren't welcome, then I'll know. But no, that's been a great program. So we're moving forward with all the winter stuff now, starting up in a couple of weeks. We do have quite a few programs for February vacation, which we'll be running. So those are great. And our summer registration starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. So we are really excited. This is Megan's first summer sign up experience. I feel really guilty because I have inflicted so much anxiety on parents in town that I'm actually feeling guilty trying to think of what other ways I can do. I mean, the phone was ringing off the hook today with parents calling and wondering, what's going to happen? I know it filled in 6 minutes last year, and they're just like so anxious that their kids aren't going to get in. And first off, it makes me feel wonderful because that means a lot of people are really excited to sign up for camp. And that means we're doing our job and we're doing it well. So that makes me happy. But secondly, I just wish that I had a way to have everybody be able to get in. I mean, number one, it's excellent revenue, but we just don't have the space. I mean, we're going to be at Lincoln Street for all 7 weeks this year. I think I already went through with you guys the last time that we are only going to be able to do 7 weeks. it's just, we're also opening everything up for summer. So it's not just the summer full day program that we're opening up, but we're opening up everything. So it's going to be a little different this year. We also did not do a brochure. So that's the first time we haven't done a brochure in many, many years. It costs about $7,000 to write, print, and mail the brochure. It's a lot of money. And one of the things we learned in the fall and winter was we didn't really have, we did a brochure, but pretty much everybody was accessing it just through the website. So with our summer programs, I think we have a really good reach to people through online, and I wanted to see how successful it would be saving that $7,000 and not doing a brochure. So it's sort of a test run. I'm hoping that I'm not leaving people out. You know, we are doing a lot of trips this year. We're going to see how that goes. And we do have a lot of people who don't necessarily look online. So what we do is we actually have a mailer of just the trips that we mail to every single person that's done a trip with us in the past 10 years. So we kind of get that out to them, but it's going to be a test run. I'm curious to see how it goes, because it would be wonderful if we did not have to, you know, pay that money for the brochure. I do know a lot of people like to physically sit there and look at the book, and, you know, we work really hard to create that book. So I'm just curious. We're going to see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know. If you hear any feedback in the community, please feel free to let me know. Like I said, it's really just, I'm just going to see how it goes and hear the feedback. So if you do hear anything, let me know. I'm just looking at the things I was going to tell you guys. That's pretty much it for me. Besides the fact that I just wanted to let you know, as far as fields, we are looking into putting a cricket field under the lights at the Melican Middle School. I reached out to Bob Radway at Diamond Athletic Turf. He's going to come out, take a look. He has built numerous cricket pitches. We don't really have to build a field. We have the field. We just need to build a pitch. And then we would be able to really open up. And it's not just that I'm looking for revenue. I'll be honest with you guys, people have been looking for cricket fields in Northborough for many, many years. And I really feel we finally have the space. We finally have the time. With soccer not looking to use that side of the field, it's really going to open it up. And I think that you will see so many groups, so many new people be able to use the space. So I'm hoping that that's successful. I'm hoping Diamond Athletic Turf will be able to give us a good quote and we can put that pitch in. The only question I have for you guys as far as that is concerned is the pitch is going to be in the middle of the fields, and cricket is going to use both fields. It's a huge space. So they're going to be using up 2 fields. And I just wanted to throw it out to you as something to think about. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to charge that, because currently we're charging $75 an hour to rent 1 field. So I'm not sure how we want to do it, because cricket is technically, it's 1 cricket field, but it's 2 of our fields that we could be renting for $75 an hour each. So I am kind of reaching out to other communities to see how they've handled that. But if you guys have any ideas, or if you can think of, you know. Go ahead, Gary.
I was going to say, as long as there sorry, my mouth is not going as fast as my brain is going. Do they have, like, it's traditionally play on Sundays, or is there
It's Saturdays, I believe. And
okay.
One of the other distinguishing factors is that they use it 6 hours at a time.
Okay. See, that was my question. Is what is the time frame?
Right.
And if, you know, does it compete with other rentals? I mean, because if they're competing and there's other services that it's taking away from, I think you almost have to charge the use of 2 fields. But if it's unmanned, then maybe it's like field and a half, you know, because they are taking up a wider space, but they're not going to charge them for 2 full fields. Maybe, you know, instead of, you know, $100 an hour, it's $75. you come to some, but I say it's dependent upon, the whole scheduling system. So.
Okay, no,
That's
that
fine.
makes sense. We primarily in the past few seasons, the only people using the middle school field on Saturdays is the HIT quarters. They rent the baseball field. So I was thinking it was a perfect opportunity to open up during the day, and you could possibly get multiple, games in there because you do have the lights. So it was just a suggestion. But that's good, Erie.
Yeah,
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, on Saturdays, I know football in the fall, we use it, but we try and get that done. 11 o'clock, we're out of there, where
Right.
we do walkthroughs 8:39 to 10:30, 11, and then we're done.
Okay. And you just reminded me, quick note, we, you might have seen it on social media, but we added a women's softball league this spring.
Yeah.
And we combined it with Westboro, Southboro, and Grafton, all thinking, oh, maybe we'll each get a team. Like we just wanted to do something fun. And well, we have 3.5 teams right now. Westboro has 4 teams. Grafton and Southboro just started their registration this week. So, and now Hudson wants to join in. It's just absolutely exploded. And of course, I asked Marty Murphy to help supervise it. He's fantastic. It's to the point now where we're almost all a little overwhelmed with the response. I mean, women are coming out of the woodwork and they're so excited. I mean, this is what we're here for. You know what I mean? It's not just the kids playing soccer and the kids playing baseball. We have 40 women signed up to play softball in less than 36 hours. It was crazy. And we were, hopeful to get 12. So we were all surprised with the response, and we're going to be holding that on Sunday nights under the lights in the spring for 6 weeks. So we're pretty excited about that. Because of the response, we were primarily going to hold the whole league at the middle school, but now we're going to have to split it because we have too many teams. We'd be there all day. So we're going to be splitting it with Southboro. So we're pretty excited. That was definitely just an awesome, rewarding program that we just added. So we'll hopefully be continuing that for many years. And that's it for my recreation report. I'll hand it over to Scott.
We got 17.5 inches of snow this past weekend. That ends my DPW report. Seriously, there's nothing going on.
Yeah. And that was a well-timed storm for my wallet. Thank you, Scott.
Reminder, we do have a
Well,
select.
no, my husband's house. All right, for new business, we already did that. Old business, I guess I'll hand that back over to you, Scott, if you want to just give us an update.
Sure. Quickly on the Assabet Playground, obviously the construction has taken the winter season off. It progressed very well. The grading is done, subgraded is in. A lot of the equipment is set. Probably 50% of the work on the back slope where the accessible path to the top of the slides was done. So now we have to literally wait for weather to get the remainder of the equipment in, which is the easy wait. Thereafter, it's waiting for the perfect weather to arrive for the poured rubber play surface. That has really tight construction windows when it comes to precipitation as well as temperature. So it's always better to wait a little longer and make sure you get it right than try to push it along to capture an extra couple of weeks of play time. So we'll monitor that as we go forward. The other CPC project that we have funded and we're working on now is the pickleball. The design is complete. The bidding process was recently completed. We had a bid opening last week. We had a lot of interest. There were 13 bidders. The project is going to be awarded to MJ Cataldo. I'm not familiar with the company. I haven't worked with them in the past. Our landscape architecture firm, Weston and Sampson, has a lot of experience with this contractor. They've done quite a bit of work in Worcester. Large mid-sized projects, well over $1 million to $250,000 range like we have. Their base bid was $228,000. We have $240,000 of remaining available from the town meeting appropriation. This project bidding suffered a similar outcome as the playground did, just in the bidding environment. We put the estimate together during COVID. As you'll remember, the outdoor town meeting approved it, but prior to the supply chain catastrophe. So if you picture a pickleball court, it's a big rectangle of asphalt with some nice paint on it and huge chain link fences and a lot of metal. So the price escalations on the materials primarily are what impacted the bidding. We worked with the pickleball community on getting the design together the way we wanted it, and they wanted it. I think it's going to come out nice. We were not able to engage the bid alternates. There were 3 bid alternates in the project. The base bid includes fencing in between the courts along the back lines. One of the bid alternates was to include fencing between the courts along the sidelines. That low bid alternate was pushed the project outside of the funding. It was $18,000. We would not have had adequate funds for the project. So we do have the project going forward. We just were not able to engage the bid alternates. The expectation, similar to Assabet, when the ground thaws and they get out there and start digging dirt, they will. And the goal and objective is to get it constructed and usable, substantially complete this coming summer. That's all I have.
It's not on here, but I just wanted to quickly let you guys know, and I know you're aware of it, but I just wanted to let you know that Scott and I presented to the CPC for this year 2 projects. One is to get started with the dog park, and the other was to replace the chain link fence on for Assabet Park up on the rock wall that is adjacent to 135. So those are our 2 projects that we put in. They've met twice to speak with us, and I believe, Scott, the next one is they're going to be discussing it amongst themselves about which projects they want to fund.
That's correct. The public hearing portion is closed. Their next meeting next week, they'll discuss the projects and make their funding recommendations. That'll then be put forth on the warrant for the selectmen's consideration and then at town meeting. So like Ali indicated, we've got 2. One's relatively simple. Let's replace that ugly chain link fence on top of the stone wall. We didn't have money because of the costs associated with the construction cost escalations during the pandemic. The other one is siting the dog park. We've been talking about the dog park for quite some time. The CPC sounded enthusiastic about the opportunity to get a dog park going in Northborough. So we're hopeful they're both seen positively in the next meeting.
And I'll keep you guys updated on that for our next meeting. I'll let you know how that's moving forward. I'm sure there'll be articles in the newspaper about it as well. Did you guys have any questions or any comments that you wanted to bring up? Awesome.
Ellie, I have just one thing. Scott and I are both on the master plan implementation committee. So just to kind of circle back with this group, we are attending monthly meetings for that, making progress. I mean, the dog park is one of those things that's on there that the town identified as a high priority item. So you've touched on where that is right now. But then I think another thing is the design study for downtown revitalization is moving forward. So just to make note of that. I don't know if anyone has specific questions, but Scott's done a nice job of presenting his sidewalk and street improvements to lots of different committees around town. So seeing some of that success on the little jobs, but I guess the bigger picture of doing a revitalization of the downtown area is definitely a huge priority of that committee. So moving forward fairly quickly. So excited about what's to come with that.
Excellent. And I want to thank you, Tracy, for being a part of that committee. I appreciate having, a representative from our committee on there. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
All right, Miss Faith.
Did we want to state next meeting? We're meeting in March?
I'm hopeful to. Let's see, you know what I mean? Let's book it for the first Tuesday in March is March 1st. So why don't we plan on doing that? And if there is nothing on the agenda at that point, we'll just postpone it until April. But we'll definitely need to meet in April.
Hopefully it will be in person. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All members voted.